Many children in South America know the feeling of not being home for Christmas. It's hard for them to believe in anything. That's why it's important for someone to say, "See, amigos, there is a Santa Claus." Each Christmas, the Ideal Toy Corporation of New York says it by loading a Panagra plane with thousands of their famous dolls and toys and flying them down to brighten the lives of children in 5 South American countries. And who distributes the toys? Why, of course, Santa Claus, whom they call Papa Noel in South America. On this trip, Papa Noel had a very special assistant, the famous American cowboy, Roy Rogers. Together they visited thousands of South American children in hospitals and orphanages in Buenos Aires, Lima, Cali, Quito, and Panama City. It's hard for children anywhere to say thank you, but it showed in their faces. And it showed in their busy little hands applauding. At each place they visited, the ceremony was the same. Children dressed in their cowboy outfits or their Sunday best waited for their ideal friends. For Roy Rogers, Papa Noel, and another helper, New York television star Claude Kirshner. Hundreds followed their car as they drove through the streets of each city like conquering heroes. At times, the crowds were so big and so excited that it was difficult to drive safely. In fact, they needed a loud horn and a shoehorn to squeeze through the archway of this orphanage. Now, the most satisfying work was at hand, giving away thousands of ideal toys and dolls to children who would not have their Christmas at home this year. Just imagine how the children felt. Santa Claus, Roy Rogers, and that mountain of ideal toys, all theirs. What a wonderful moment. And what a moment to have to leave. No one was passed by. Each child got a toy just right for its age. Each girl got something she really wanted. Mission accomplished. For those who couldn't see Roy Rogers in person, he appeared on the most popular television programs in each city. He was watched by thousands in the studio and on their sets at home. No audience was ever too large or too small for Roy to put on a show. Every time he picked up his guitar, every time he sang, every time he talked, everywhere he went, he got a rousing welcome. And the president of Peru gave him a warm personal welcome and a tour of his beautiful palace in Lima. He wanted to tell Roy how much the children loved his visit and their ideal toys. Wherever Roy went, it took an extra squad of police to get him through the crowds. What everyone will remember most about this trip are the smiles of the little children. Some needed to be coaxed. Others could hardly contain themselves. There were lots of smiles from the patients in this hospital. Roy went from bed to bed, from one ward to another, so that they could see him and touch him. Everything about Roy fascinated them. They thrill to the guns of a cowboy and the songs of a cowboy. But not everything was laughter. In the next room, a little girl, unable to leave her bed, was crying for fear that Roy would overlook her. But our ideal helpers ignore no child. Roy's song was just for her.
Hope and charity, that's the way to live successfully. How do I know? The Bible tells me so.
A day she will never forget. Unforgettable, too, the memory of this 8-year-old Indian girl getting her very first doll. Everyone wanted autographs, even the nurses. Roy signed the cuff of one, the shoulder of another. There was hardly time for farewells. The pleas of the children made it difficult to say goodbye. They wanted one last look. But as Santa Claus and Roy Rogers pulled away, they left one thing behind, a renewed belief in the spirit of Christmas, a spirit that says many things. Above all, sí, amigos, there is a Santa Claus, and you saw it happen.